Cindy and Brad, lifeguards at Wet Valley Water Park, decide to sneak away one night to enjoy some time alone. A mysterious person appears with a sharp machete as they are having an intimate moment by the slides. Cindy screams as the stranger pushes Brad off the platform, where he falls to his death. And Cindy is dismembered and killed not long after. Later, the Valley Hills High School graduates decide to celebrate at the water park. Alice, the head of the grad committee, announces that they will spend the rest of the weekend there. Everyone is naturally excited, so they rush in to have a good time. Josh will perform that night with two friends, Chad and Slim. They're in a band called the Blades, and despite the break, the three are frustrated by the size of their stage. Conrad Carter then introduces himself to the boys. He works as the water park's caretaker and has done so for many years. Conrad warns the boys to be cautious, claiming that things can get twisted around there, but they ignore him. Then, out of nowhere, a young man named Tommy appears, distraught because he can find his girlfriend Kim. When he asks Priscilla where Kim is, she says she has no idea and tells him to leave. Kim, on the other hand, approaches Josh through the stage. She works at the water park and happens to be Josh's ex-girlfriend. Tommy then approaches Kim, Josh, and the rest of the band with an intimidating demeanor. Michael is sitting in his car, listening to a voice message from his son Josh. His son wants him to go to the water park later that night to see their band perform, but Michael hasn't decided yet. Meanwhile, two students enter the pool with a bottle of liquor. As a result, Paul, the water park owner, summons paramedics to attend to the injured student. Unfortunately, blood and broken glass have contaminated the pool. Later that afternoon, Chad and Slim requested Tommy's assistance locating the mixing board and speakers near the stage. But as it turns out, the boys only do this to give Josh and Kim some time alone. Kim and Josh become more intimate throughout the night after Tommy, Chad, and Slim leave. They then go somewhere remote where they can do whatever they want and spend time together in the steamy shower. Michael, on the other hand, has a dinner date with Priscilla. Despite knowing she is married to Paul, Michael is unconcerned and continues to have a great time with her. Kim and Josh return to the water park after their private session, and Josh immediately begins performing with the band. Meanwhile, Kim is watching him from the crowd when Tommy approaches her unexpectedly. When he asks why her hair is wet, she says she went swimming with everyone else. Then Phil shows up at the party and sends everyone Josh and Kim's video, revealing that he was the one secretly watching them. When Tommy sees the video, he storms up the stage and attacks Josh, who has just finished performing. He thrashes Josh and flees the party, dragging Kim along with him. As if that weren't enough, Priscilla overhears Paul's conversation with Alice, further complicating matters. Josh, who is hurt and exhausted, also leaves the party. Moments later, Michael approaches Josh, expressing interest in purchasing the water park and inquiring about his thoughts on the plan. On the other hand, Josh isn't having any of it, and he's upset because Michael did nothing when Tommy beat him up earlier. Finally, Alice dashes into Paul's office and asks if he intends to sell the water park, but Paul says no. However, Alice does not believe him, and she is upset that Paul is so easily removing her from his life. So she slams the door and walks away frustrated. Simultaneously, an unknown person installs blades inside one of the slides. Finally, morning arrives, and Michael looks out the window at the water park, watching people climb the stairs to try out the water slides. Then out of nowhere, someone threatens him with a gun. Michael is shot in the leg when he tells the person to stop. He is cornered, so he rushes into the mechanical room to escape. On the other hand, Tommy smokes in his car, depressed over his recent firing. Kim also broke up with him, so he sent her several messages and attempted to call her. Then Conrad appears unexpectedly, startling Tommy. Conrad sits beside him in the car, persuading him to forget about Kim. It's easier for Tommy to point the finger at Josh, but Conrad assures him that he's not the source of the problem. As the day progresses, Conrad begins preparing the pool for the students. He opens the pipes for the long slide so everyone can enjoy the water park. Unfortunately, no one has noticed the blades installed in one of the slides. Priscilla is having fun with Slim on the other side of the park. Sadly, Paul intercepts them and orders the young man to leave. The couple then fights, and Paul complains that he can't find Cindy or Brad anywhere. Frustrated, Paul assigns Priscilla as the day's lifeguard, reminding her that she still works there. The students are having a great time at the pool. Paul then arrives and gathers the participants for this water slide contest. Josh considers entering the competition with Chad and Slim, but Slim is nowhere to be found. Priscilla then walks in, waving a large trophy in the air, and everyone cheers as she instructs the registered teams to proceed to the top of the slide immediately. When Tommy appears unexpectedly, Priscilla reminds him he's been fired and shouldn't be there. Priscilla is irritated because Tommy claims he came as a guest and wants to enter the competition. She even threatens Tommy with calling the cops, but Paul stops her and tells her to calm down. Phil and his friends stop Tommy as he approaches the entrance to the water slide. The competition is about to begin, but Josh and Chad have yet to locate Slim. So finally, they have no choice but to ask him to join their team. Meanwhile, Tommy is on his way out when he notices something strange about one of the slides. The students rush up the stairs to the water slides, unaware of the danger that awaits them. Tommy warns them that something is wrong and instructs them to stop the race, but everyone ignores him. The game's mechanics are to form 3-person groups and slide down the water slides, with the first group to finish winning $500. Conrad will keep track of the teams below, while Paul and Priscilla will assist the students at the top of the slides. Soon after, Paul fires his gun, and the competition begins. Tommy then reappears, pleading with Paul and Priscilla to halt the race and insisting that something is wrong. But unfortunately, no one pays attention to him. The race continues, and Phil, high and pissed, pushes Tommy into one of the slides. Unfortunately, Alice is dismembered in the slide while the blades kill her teammates. Blood fills the pool, leaving the onlookers perplexed about what is happening. It's not long before Alice's severed body parts fall into the water, and everything unravels. Meanwhile, Conrad blacks out and falls out of his chair, breaking his ankle. Tommy, on the other hand, falls into the same slide with blades. Fortunately, he can stop falling further after seeing Alice's dead teammates stuck on the blades. Meanwhile, a visitor seeks assistance from authorities while her son witnesses the carnage. Conrad then tries to call Priscilla on the walkie-talkie, but it suddenly stops working. Unfortunately, everyone on top of the slides is completely unaware of what is going on below. Priscilla even challenges Paul to participate in the race, which he initially refuses but eventually agrees to. However, Paul and his team select the deadly blade slide. Fortunately, Paul hears Josh before falling further, and he quickly lets go of the 2 girls in front of him. Josh tries to lift Paul while his teammates collide with Tommy, killing him instantly. Carter realizes he must act, so he yells at Kim and Chad to turn off the water pumps in the mechanical room. Kim discovers several bodies, including Slim and Michael. As she looks at Michael's corpse, a roll of money is placed inside his mouth. She can only scream in horror. Josh attempts to stop the other students from sliding down, but is ignored and pushed into one of the slides. He survives because he ends up on the slide with no blades. Josh and Kim eventually meet with a lawyer, who reveals that Michael left Josh his entire estate. Josh signs the papers and finalizes everything because Michael's company intends to replace the water park with a shopping complex. Finally, he hands Priscilla, sitting beside him, the $20 million check. Josh consoles Priscilla while she sobs, saying he's sorry, but she says it's not his fault. Then Priscilla slowly smiles, revealing that she is to blame for the murders. But as it turns out, her father died accidentally at the water park when she was still a child, and no one bothered to help him.